Everybody will please stand and remain standing. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Caldwell, will you honor us, sir?
Heavenly Father God, we thank you, Father, for bringing us all here safely this evening. We thank you, dear Lord, for getting us through this weather these past few days. And we pray that you will watch over and protect all those still in the path of this storm. We pray, Father, that everything done here tonight will be in accordance with your will and your plan, and everything done will honor and glorify you, and will be done for the betterment of all who live in this town. We pray this prayer to you in Jesus' holy and precious name. Amen.
Amen. We'll have a moment of silence for our neighbors that passed away, Stephen Harper and Jared Wells. All right, thank you. You can keep your seats, and please check your phones, turn them down, turn them off. At this time, I'll ask the commissioners if they have anything on the agenda that is a conflict of interest. If not, we'll move on to the adoption of the agenda as it is.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor? Next up is public comment. And I think we just have one person, and that's you, Doc. You can stand right there, hang on.
Oh.
We'll bring it to you.
Well, I just want to thank everybody that ever since last meeting, they have managed to give us a sound system in this room. I've been working for it for over a year, but I mentioned it to Steve Martin, the current commissioner, and he spoke to the different people, and I thank everyone who were involved in helping us hear what everyone has to say. It's here we had them in on our hands all the while and didn't even know it. So thank you to everyone. Everyone enjoy the sound system.
Thank you, Doc.
We were trying to go with a professional system. We were talking $40,000, and we were talking about doing some things. So it all worked out. We got and using what we have. So I think that's awesome. All right, next up is Police Department Quarterly Report. Chief.
How's everybody doing tonight? All right. We're going to go through the third quarter police report. And we're going to...
He's getting it.
Mr. Foxworth can get the PowerPoint going. It'll be quick, I promise.
Ah, there's meeting. I don't know where it was, but I saw it. No?
No.
Okay, sorry.
No.
Darn it.
Well, you got the camera preview.
Start the slideshow for me, if you don't mind. Thank you. You got the little clicker.
What?
All right, so it's the third quarter police report.
Chief, can you pull that microphone down to you a little bit?
I can. Let's see here. And third quarter police department accomplishments. Currently, the police department is at full staff. We have no vacancies, which is a very positive thing going on. High visibility patrol operations and traffic enforcement were conducted throughout the summer season. We increased our directed patrols during the July 4th and the Labor Day weekends, brought in every officer we had for those weekends. Annual firearms inspections were conducted on all issued department weapons. We found no deficiencies. All officers were issued new OC delivery systems and received training on the deployment of those systems. And the police department began planning with the county for the new county radio system. We began mapping out our new radio channels, and that will be something we'll be meeting with them with in the next couple of weeks. Total calls for service 1,818. That includes all the traffic stops, all the calls where we receive through 911, and then our duty phone, which is the non-emergency line. Officers conducted 3,316 directed patrols, which means those are directed patrols, foot patrols, business checks, residential checks, and park checks, boat ramp checks. They stopped 1,122 vehicles and traffic stops, issued 541 traffic citations, 582 traffic warnings, investigated 32 motor vehicle collisions, and arrested 20 individuals. Mutual aid, we did respond mutual aid quite a bit in the third quarter, 22 times, 10 times to Cedar Point, 5 to Pelletier, 6 into the county, and then 1 time with Emerald Isle. We assisted fire and EMS inside the corporate limits of the town 36 times, and then there were 9 times that we requested mutual aid from other entities that came to us, primarily the Sheriff's Department, Highway Patrol, or Emerald Isle Police Department. Any questions?
Chief, do our guys patrol in Cedar Point at times?
They do not patrol in Cedar Point. If you see their patrol cars on a traffic stop at Cedar Point, it is either they were sent there or they observed a traffic violation here. Obviously, if you're trying to stop a car for running a light at Golf and Dolphin, you're going to end up in Cedar Point pretty far down, usually by the time you catch up with somebody. So that's what they're doing. You may see them pass through to go into maintenance. A couple of them live in Swansboro, so they'll pass through this way. But we do not actively patrol. Our border is 58, and we try not to cross that.
Okay, thank you.
So you're fully staffed. Does that mean you got your 2 part-timers and your reserves?
I have 2 part-timers. I still have a reserve officer, and then all full-time staff. So,
I think that's the first time in the history it's been that way. Good job.
I'm glad. Thank you.
Chief, I got a question. I just noticed we had a lot of wrecks lately at the intersection here. Is there anything that's contributing to it? Is there
So Golf and Dolphin, the accidents that occur at Golf and Dolphin are the left turn, and it's the same traffic accident we have
McDonald's?
there. No, it'll be a left turn going into like Starbucks.
So
They'll be coming from Cedar Point, making a
Okay.
left into Starbucks. The light will be on flash, they'll turn, they won't have a clear lane, and then the individual that's traveling straight towards Cedar Point will have the right of way, and that's the same collision. Most of our diagrams are almost identical for the wrecks. The cars come to rest almost at the same point. So
we have anything that we're trying to?
I have requested for DOT in the past to see if they could fix that traffic light so that maybe we don't have flash at certain times of where it flashes yellow, like in the afternoon hours from maybe like 3 to 6, that just goes from green, yellow to red, so we don't have the left turn.
Do you have any problems turning to the McDonald's? Same idea?
We haven't had many accidents that way. It's always the accident for the most part, turning left into Starbucks.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Any more questions for Chief? All right, thank you, sir.
Here's a little clicker back.
Thank you.
All right, up next, consideration of the Carter County Comprehensive Transportation Plan. There we have some representatives from NCDOT. Welcome.
I believe y'all have printouts, but does anyone need one or anyone in the audience? Anybody else?
I want to thank Mayor for being here, County Representative. Thank you.
My honor, thank you.
I like the microphones.
We can hear you too. That's really good. Well, thank you so much for having us here today. My name is Amanda Killian, and I work with the Transportation Planning Division at NCDOT. I also have Kamal Shaw here with me from TPD at NCDOT. We have Len White, who works with Division 2. He's a division planning engineer. We have Vicki Anderson, who works with the Down East RPO. And we have Patrick Flynn in here as well, who works for the county. So, today we're here to talk to you about the Carteret County Comprehensive Transportation Plan and hopefully receive your adoption for it. So here's a little agenda. First, we'll just kind of quickly go through what a CTP is, and then we'll talk about the progress on the CTP, the next steps, and then we'll get into the recommendations on both the highway and the bike and ped, and then we'll hopefully seek your adoption. So just a quick refresher on what a CTP is. It's a high-level and long-range transportation plan. So it looks 25 to 30 years out in the future. and it comes before any prioritization or funding, so it's just very early stage planning. This is work done by NCDOT, the Down East Rural Planning Organization, the county, all the municipalities, as well as the public and people from the community. And this just represents consensus on a future transportation system. It's multimodal, so we have highway recommendations, but also bike, ped, and some public transit. And we have a CTP for about every county in the state of North Carolina. So this is just updating the old 2014 Carter County CTP. And there's the old one to the right there. So here's a bit of the timeline from this plan. So it was initiated back in summer of 2020. There were some delays due to COVID and staff turnover. And then in October of 2023, things kind of picked back up. We had monthly steering committee meetings where we met with locals from about each town. We did engineering analysis, and we put together our draft recommendations for this plan. And then in May of this year, we held 4 public input sessions, which were just in places around Carter County, where the public would come out and just give their opinion or have a look at the plan that we have so far. And we've been going around to all the towns now and receiving their adoptions on this plan. So we have 4 out of the 11 town adoptions so far, and we have the other, all the rest of them scheduled as well. So here's kind of the next steps. So like I said, we're doing all the adoptions right now. So after that, the plan will go to the RPO to be endorsed. And then finally, it will go to the NC Board of Transportation to be adopted. And then after that, we will have a user-friendly book created that's posted online where anyone can view it. And again, this will just help support better funding opportunities in the future. But I just want to reiterate that this is not fiscally constrained. None of these projects have been funded. This is just the very preliminary stage. I'm just showing where the needs are in the area. So if you go to apply for funding in the future, this can kind of support that. So with that, we'll get into some of the highway recommendations. So here's a map of the entire county. This just shows everything. And then on the next slide after that, this gets into the specific projects in Cape Carter. And the projects are kind of classified by a different color. So red projects are congestion, light blue is modernization, and then we have 1 intersection improvement there, which is 403. So I'll just go through a couple of them. We have project 309, that is the NC24 improvements, and this is just proposing to upgrade the roadway, access management, and intersection improvement. And let's see, we also have the Emerald Isle Bridge improvements. That's project 319. And this recommendation is to widen the Emerald Isle Bridge to a 4-lane boulevard cross-section. And there was just a need for that due to congestion. But again, this is just very preliminary. Nothing has been funded yet. This is just if you ever want to do that in the future, it shows the need for that and will help back that. Yeah. And then the next slide after this, this is kind of a little bit more zoomed out. You can see more of the county here, but we just wanted to highlight 2 other projects that we have on here. So the first one is project 333. This is an NC24 bypass. So again, this is a congestion project. There was just a need for this, so we included it in the plan. But this is just to construct a 4-lane bypass. But again, this hasn't been funded or anything. We're just showing the need for it. And if it ever wants to go for funding in the future, then you have this as backing. And project 323, this is a mid-island bridge over the BOC Sound. So after much public input, engineering analysis, and looking at the congestion of the area, we included a 3rd bridge in here, but the exact location is not determined at this point. It hasn't even been funded. This is again just showing the need. So if it ever goes for funding in the future, then you have a backing for it. Are there any questions on the highway projects? Okay. Well, perfect. With that, we'll go into the bike and pedestrian recommendations. So again, we have just the whole county map here, and then the slide after that kind of zooms in, and it's just an inset of Cape Carteret and Cedar Point. And on here, the projects are separated out by color. So the brown are multi-use projects, the purple are sidewalk projects, And the number corresponds with the number in the description. And so yeah, as you can see, we have a lot of multi-use recommendations around Cape Carteret and Cedar Point. And this was, just based on the need of the area, and we received a lot of public input on all these areas. And we also have some Western Carteret sidewalk additions, Project 213. And so that's just adding a sidewalk in there. And again, this is, none of this has been funded or yet, but if that ever goes for funding in the future, this just kind of helps identify the need for the area. So it's kind of a good backing for that. Are there any questions on the bike and pedestrian projects?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
And I probably should ask this for highways. But if you're gonna do major road construction between Onslow County and Cape Carteret, have you considered anything about sewer?
That's a good question. That's definitely too specific for this plan. This is just identifying the need, and then if it goes for funding and goes to be built in the future, then that's when that would kind of be examined.
Okay.
But yeah, good question. Alrighty, we'll continue along. So we also included some other maps in here. And these are just maps that will be adopted in the final plan. Maybe. Well, if you look in your packet, we have the facility maps. I don't know why it's not popping up here. But the slide after other maps, this is just sort of showing the roadway facility types. So we have it for the whole county, and then zoomed in. So it's just showing the different roadway types for the future. And then the slide after that is just showing the public transportation and rail recommendations. We don't have any, but we're just showing where the existing rail line is, or the Amtrak street route. So I just put that there for you to see. Are there any other questions on anything?
Are any of these projects that you've shown us tonight, that have any of them been funded, including the roundabout?
Yes, so there are a few that are in the STIP, or the State Transportation Improvement Program. So some of those have started to be funded. We just include those since they're kind of in progress. Do you have any specific questions? Oh, you said the roundabout?
Yeah, the roundabout is question.
Yeah, I might defer that to Len and do a little bit more.
You look back here, I guess you come out one at Taylor Ocean, yes, it's in development now, and somewhere 12 months plus or minus, construction will start.
Okay. So, is it true that any of these projects, if they were funded today, we're looking at 7 to 10 years out before they actually would?
That's the best case, yes, sir.
Okay.
Because again, none of these aren't really projects, these are ideas, and like Amanda said, needs have been identified. So there's a long process to get it to a project state. So you have 7 to 10 years to be,
Okay.
if it was today.
Thank you.
17 or 17?
7 to 10.
Okay. I thought I heard 17.
So we left the roundabout on this just in case something happened and it fell out of our plan. But that's why I still show it.
Are there any other questions or any comments?
I noticed number 403, which is the intersection up here at 24 and 58. There's a note there that says it is a funded SIP project to begin in 2026. I'm just curious, was that just adding a lane coming from 24?
Adding capacity, yes, sir. And it's set to go to lead next June.
Okay.
Well, with that, we would just ask for your adoption. Like I said, we have received 4 out of the 11 town adoptions, and we're going to all the towns and presenting to them and seeking their adoption. But yeah, I'll let y'all discuss, and we need to vote on it, and then just send us like a resolution signed and sealed. So.
questions? We have to go to a public hearing, so we'll do that first.
I'll make a motion to open public hearing.
Okay. All right, all in favor? All right, we are now in public hearing. Do we have anybody sign to speak?
No, sir.
Okay. Anybody want to say anything? If not, I'll entertain a motion to go out of public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. All right, all in favor? All right, we're back and ready to meet. Any more questions for the people from DOT? And like she says, these are ideas. The plans they're talking about have not been formalized, so if you're like me and you saw some of the things that may have been a little quirky, you know, that stuff will be figured out by the time it gets here. I'm correct in that, right?
I got one. Why is the big push for roundabouts?
They're safe.
Have you been on one of them out during tourist season?
Well, that's different.
That's not different. I mean, that's what we're gonna be dealing with over here.
Hopefully they'll just do the one rather than the two laying around.
I can't think of a better solution than roundabout up here at
I'm
Tatum.
just, but
They're
I'm talking
the way
about
to
other
go.
places they wanna put them.
Yeah,
I just never understood.
and the sooner the better, in my opinion. To get that done, there's a lot of accidents up
There's a
there.
lot of accidents. Just curious, is it a design, is it?
It's for safety. It eliminates a lot of funnel impacts. Everything's more of a glancing blow if there is an accident, so it takes away the bar class A incidents.
And Myth Brothers proved it, so if you want to look at that episode, they go through all that stuff.
So, speaking about the roundabout up there, obviously you'll have to lower the speed limit from 45 to when you get north of that coming into the roundabout, is that correct? You have to lower that to around 35?
I'm not, don't ask me that, but it ought to be taken into account, and what they do going into them, they kind of make you make a move to the right to make you slow down.
Yeah.
Which is very important.
Okay.
All right, do we have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution for the Carteret County Comprehensive Transportation Plan.
Okay, got a second?
I'll second.
John Rose first. All right, all in favor? Thank you, and thank you guys for the presentation. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for being here. All right, next up, planning board report. Mrs. Olson. All right, the lights change, you can now proceed.
Thank you. This is the briefing for the planning board meeting, September 16th, 2025. Planning board met here. Members present were Minnie Truax, Paxton Holtz, Mike Denby, Mayor Petrilli, Jeremy Granger, as well as Scott Melishevsky, second alternate. So, quorum was present. The main discussion about this, at this meeting was the administrative site plan review for the second time of 301 WB McLean Drive. Now, you read in your packets, that was the approval of the Wells Fargo Wachovia building into a Taco Bell. There was a lot of discussion. The system initiated by Mr. Foxworth was excellent, requesting input from the various agencies around the county for their comments. Fire Marshal, CAMA, Stormwater, DOT, all of them were invited to comment on the plans, and they did. So at the first meeting, you'll recall, we tabled the request until we got more information. The sewer treatment was an engineered plan, which does not require approval from the county, but goes directly to Robin for approval. They are not planning to get on the sewer plant. They are planning to pump their effluent behind the shopping center. So, but the health department revoked their first permit, and I think it was largely clerical due to an engineer not continuing with the project. And after we were promised by the representative from Taco Bell, Ms. Redmond, that she would email the new plan approved by Raleigh to our town hall, and Mr. Foxworth has received it. And several other comments from Ms. Petrilli and Mr. Granger on stacking that was approved by the DOT in the weight lanes and so forth. The plan was approved. So, Mr. Granger made a motion to approve the site plan contingent on an approved septic plan, as well as all other local, state, and federal guidelines being met, to include there only being 44 seats in the business. Ms. Petrilli seconded the motion. Motion passed with a unanimous vote. Now, the septic plan called for more seats, but we approved it based on 44. So that's the deal.
How many more seats, Paxton?
Sir?
How many more seats?
How many more?
The count that the septic permit called for.
Oh, let's see. The original one was 50-something.
So it's 58. It was the original amount of seats approved on the septic permit for the site plan that before you, was before the planning commission, before you tonight, is only for 44 seats. So
Right.
the applicant would have to abide by the site plan, even though the septic permit says it could.
Right.
There's more capacity there.
Yeah. So, the next item we considered was the runoff prevention policy ordinance amendment. Now, we've had a lot of discussion about this, about stormwater not being sufficiently contained on construction sites or just on other sites. And Mr. Foxworth crafted language to put in the UDO to amend the policy to put a little more teeth in it. So if they go and see stormwater plans that aren't working, they can suggest things. If the contractor or the owner does not comply, they have a little teeth in the ordinance then. So after discussion, the motion to approve the runoff prevention policy ordinance was passed by unanimous vote. And to that end, we passed the statement of consistency and reasonableness. We found that the request is consistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of the Town of Cape Carteret Comprehensive and County Use Plan, because protecting water quality in Cape Carteret is consistent with the goals and policies of both the Comprehensive and County Use Plans. The reasonableness part, it is reasonable and in the public interest because the amendment is not overburdening, but should accomplish the goal of protecting our water quality, which is in the public interest, and also directly supports the UDO and gives the permit officer and public works director some authority to enforce the UDO, more authority. Ms. Holmes made a motion to approve the statement of consistency and reasonableness, and Mr. Granger seconded the motion. Motion passed unanimously. Any questions?
Hi, I just wanted to make sure, I think I heard you say this, the septic was approved at the state level?
Yes.
Okay.
There's an engineered plan not going into the septic, into the sewer plan, it's going into septic systems.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Is it the old Wells Fargo septic or is it a new septic?
A new septic behind the shopping center.
Further behind?
Yes, sir.
So he's tying up more land back there with the new septic?
Yes, sir. And this is not part of our minutes, but we've had discussions. The planning board would really like to see plans of where the septics are located for these various,
That'd be great.
like Starbucks, the vet. We'd just like to see where they are. So we'd have permanent records in the town hall.
Can I ask you a question, Chief?
Yes, sir.
On the stormwater, are we gonna have any kind of major renovation requirements if somebody does a major renovation to a piece of property, say over a 50%, where they would be required to keep stormwater on their property, where they have been shedding it into the town for years?
So I think with this amendment, if that's what you're asking about specifically, with this amendment, anytime that permit requires stormwater, period, whether it was major ground disturbing, period, whether it's renovation or new, I think this would apply.
All right, what about commercial? Will it apply both
Yes,
residential
sir.
and commercial?
Yes, sir.
So if this ordinance was in place, we might possibly be able to save some of our stormwater on site rather than dump it all into Deer Creek.
So what this largely pertains to is under construction and the ability under construction, which y'all all know the struggles we have with that, that once a site is there, you know, the silt fence is required. But sometimes you need more than silt fence. So it allows us to apply some practical applications there. And that's what the runoff provision allows.
That's just one, let me get it clear in my mind.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Gene.
So
Okay.
I got a question, has there been any feedback or concerns for like nearby businesses or, you know, about the traffic or the access to the new drive-through, the layout, any concerns from any of them?
If there have, I've not heard, they've not been expressed to me.
I have not heard any. The only thing we heard was, why isn't it a Chick-fil-A? Yeah.
That's my question.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else?
Thank you, Paxton.
Thank you so much. All right, next up is the consent agenda.
So I'd like to make a suggestion for a revision.
Okay.
Under agenda item 13A, discussion and clarification of local use path project, the minutes should read as Commissioner Ritchie inquired of Mr. Foxworth how much taxes would need to be raised should the town take an additional project, and Mr. Foxworth responded nothing. Then discussion continued, and Mr. Foxworth stated that an increase of 1 cent in the tax rate would generate approximately $75,000 in revenue. Commissioner Ritchie then calculated the necessary tax increase to generate the required funds. So that omission of Mr. Foxworth responded nothing was left out. And that correction aligns with the Carteret News Times too, clarification, and people that were at the meeting.
So, okay, so what we can do is, make the consent agenda with the additional verbiage added to the minutes.
Thank you.
Should we not allow time for the clerk to go back and listen to the recording and do that and bring it back to the next meeting? The clerk, would that be the proper thing to
It's
do?
there. I think there are people in the audience too that may have heard the same thing.
I think before we change the record of the minutes, we should allow the clerk to.
I think the clerk should be allowed to correct it.
I don't know which way it is, one way or the other, but that's why we record it.
I'll defer to whatever the clerk says.
I've never-
And if it's there, if I believe you, if it's there,
Yeah,
she's gonna find it there anyway.
Are you talking about right there when we did go back and listen to it today, and it is very hard to even hear what he says. I don't know if he was saying nothing regarding that project, because then he went in and explained how much it would be for 1 cent.
It now? Would you like to clarify it now?
So I'm okay with whatever the record shows on that, either way.
Can the rest of the board be supplied?
Really tough to hear.
Can the rest of the board please be supplied with that change in writing and make copies of it tonight if we're going to approve it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Did anyone out in the public?
So I'm adding Mr. Foxworth responded nothing. That's what I'm adding. Do we want to listen to it?
I mean, we can pull that out.
Yeah, we can pull it up
Next month.
right there and listen.
Let's do that. Let's just, I think the best thing to do would be to not determine what is or isn't in the record. I think if we could pull that out and present it at the next meeting, and then we can discuss it at that
I just
point.
want accurate information.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's completely fine, I just,
Yeah.
I don't remember, I don't recall what was said, so,
Yeah, I remember him talking about what we would get for a penny.
yeah.
That's the only thing I remember. But we can do that, so, consent agenda minus the minutes. If you wanna make a motion, everything else is okay.
It was just small areas like that.
Do you wanna make a
Make a
motion?
motion.
All right, motion to approve the items on the consent agenda with the, so
We're moving the minutes till next month.
till next month.
Okay, all right. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? Okay, thank you.
And Gene, if you will, in next month's packet, please include the changes that Commissioner Barnhill recommended also, so we can read those too.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, next, consideration of the ordinance amendment for, chapter 8, common review procedures, runoff prevention policy. All right, give us a little synopsis here, Gene. We got a public hearing on this one as well.
Absolutely. So, planning board member Holtz did an excellent job updating y'all on this. This was really to be able to add some practical application to the runoff prevention policy. One of the things that we've seen, and I've seen multiple times in my few months here, is we have someone who has silk fence up, but there's a particular part of that drainage that it could be a ravine, could be other topography that would allow a lot of water during the downpour to come through there. And so this could be as simple as putting some straw bales up there at that weakened spot. It could be whatever needs to happen to keep that that hard rain from end up with all the silt away. So that's really what it is. It allows myself and the public works director to do under construction inspections and apply some common sense solutions to the issues that we see there.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and go into the public hearing, and then we'll discuss it afterwards. So, motion to go in public hearing. Thank you, John. Second? Second. All in favor? All right, we're now in public hearing. Did anybody sign up for to speak on this?
No, sir.
Okay, anybody want to say? If not, I'll entertain a motion to go out of public. Okay. All right, and all in favor? Thank you. We're now back in regular session. Are there any questions for Gene?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution in chapter 8, common review procedures, section 14.8.13, runoff prevention policy.
Do we not need to do the consideration of consistency?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Would you like me to read the consistency statement?
I thought we did that
After you vote, yes, sir.
We have to,
Yes,
right.
yes, sir.
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes, we haven't voted yet. But we have a motion to adopt. We have a second, John? All right, all in favor? All right. Now, sir, would you please read the consideration?
Glad to. The commissioners find and determine that this request is consistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of the town of Cape Carter Comprehensive County Land Use Plan because protecting water quality in Cape Carter is consistent with the goals and policies of both the Comprehensive County Land Use Plan. It's reasonable and in the public interest because the amendment is not overburdening but should accomplish the goals protecting our water quality, which it is in the public interest. It also directly supports the UDO and gives the permit officer and public works director some authority to enforce the UDO.
Thank you, sir. Next up is site plan approval, 301 WB McLean Drive.
We have to vote on that.
I'm sorry. I forgot about that. Okay, so motion to adopt consideration statement. Okay, and John? Second. Cameron? All right, all in favor? So getting used to that.
The speakers in this as well.
Yeah, it's the speaker's fault. Oh, Lord. All right, now we're going to do the site plan approval of 301 WB McLean Drive.
Yes, sir, and again, Planning Commissioner Holtz did an excellent job with this, very accurate report civil and environmental consultants that submitted on behalf of Taco Bell site plan for your consideration for 44C restaurant at the above address. Both the August and September meetings, the planning board considered the site plan. There were some questions about the sewer there, which have been resolved. They do have an active permit, and they did make a recommendation for approval, conditional upon it meeting all state and federal level requirements.
I have one question. During the process, was anything discussed with the landlord about the terrible shape of the entrance into the plaza, right there by his business?
No, sir.
I just have one thing to say. I think this is much better than a vape shop.
You're here. You're here.
So I support this.
Absolutely. I'd like to say I support this too, because we all know this location has had a long and complicated history. So I'm proud we've reached a point where this property can be productive and used in a way that aligns with our town's vision. So, great job.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the site plan for 301 WB McLean Drive.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Courtney,
Next.
you didn't
Next
vote,
up.
Courtney.
I'm sorry, what?
Courtney didn't vote, she didn't raise her hand.
She did, she did.
Um,
Her hair was blocking, you couldn't see.
okay.
Next up is report discussion of Bay Shore Drive boat slips.
Yes, sir. So last month, y'all asked me to look at the feasibility of installing boat slips at the newly acquired property of Bay Shore Drive. So I met with coastal management on site, and I do believe it's feasible to get a permit for 9 permanent boat slips and 1 temporary boat slip for a total of 10. As y'all may recall, a camera permit for 5 boat slips was made with that piece of property. I have that permit. So if you look at the rendering that slide, this is exactly what I discussed with coastal management. It simply goes inshore. The 5 boat slips are offshore, the 5 offshore slips that you see in the drawing. I added 5 inshore slips to that. Again, we don't have any certainty other than coastal management did think that it was a permit was obtainable for this. And it's going to be a process to get that permit, but it's obtainable. We met with several contractors about this and received estimates, not bids. And the estimates for construction of this is 175 foot with those of dock with those range between $85,000 and $149,000 to construct those. Be glad to answer any questions you have about this.
Gene, what's the estimated revenue generated on per slip or wet slip per year?
So the wet slips, and I went and I looked at several different places, both municipal and private slips, slips that were close by, and slips that were, all in North Carolina coast. And it looks like for a wet slip, you're looking between $4,000 and $6,000 for a wet slip.
Okay. Did you ask about the cost of putting lifts in each one of those slips, maybe, or kind of a guesstimate?
So I did not ask specifically about that, but when I spec'd it, we spec'd it so that the pilots would support lifts.
They would support it at a future date if someone, okay, so
Yes,
the
sir.
renter, if we rented them out, the renter would be given the option to install that.
If y'all so choose, yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Well, I'd like to make a motion to, and this is kind of complicated. I'd like to make a motion to direct the town manager to proceed with obtaining CAMA permits for that project and to put out an RFP for that project. And if possible, to present present the RFP to the next board meeting.
I'd like to second that motion. I do have one question though. When you say wet slip, is that just no lift? Your boat goes in, stays in the water, and then a dry slip would be one with the lift?
Yes, sir.
Correct. And right now, we're just looking at wet slips.
Correct, yeah.
But I think we need to,
I'd like to have an option on each
I would
one.
like to allow the renters if they would like to put one in there.
I just,
agree.
Yeah, if they want to, yeah, so.
I just didn't know if it was proper, Brett, to ask for an RFP for the wet slips and for the lifts.
It sounds like,
Two different RFPs, I guess.
right, because it sounds like what I'm hearing from this board is that the renters would be the ones responsible for putting in the boat lift as opposed to the town.
I don't want the town being the lift.
Yes, but
Yeah, so then we wouldn't need an RFP for that
Okay.
portion of it.
right.
So as far as power and water, who would be responsible for that?
So we can spec this with power and water, we can spec it without power and water. That would be the desire of the board. I think what's out there right now, the way it's currently spec for those, they have both, because they were spec with the initial permit. So, that specification, we just extend that out.
Can we make this a bid option as well?
You absolutely can make it an option, yes, sir.
I think it would be smart to make it a bid option, just as, then we can decide.
Yeah.
With that direct, that was precisely where I was going.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're perfect. No, you're perfect. No, you're good. You're good.
All right, so Steve's got a motion, and you seconded it. Any more questions or discussion? All right, all in favor? Okay. Next up is consideration of resolution dedicating the reflection area. And I understand, Mr. Martin, would you like to read that?
Sure. Resolution dedicating the reflection area along the Cape Carteret Trail in memory of the Honorable David Fowler. Whereas David Michael Fowler, born April 23rd, 1949 in Buncombe County, North Carolina, dedicated his life to public service, leadership, and community enrichment through his work in education, business, and local government. And whereas Dave grew up in Greenville, North Carolina, graduated from J.H. Rhodes High School, and later from Western Carolina University with a degree in middle school education, where he was a proud member and leader of the Delta Sigma Phi fraternity, a student athlete, and served as president of the Western Carolina University Alumni Association Board of Directors. And whereas he served as an educator in Jackson County and contributed to the private sector through his work with Caraway Packaging, Old Dominion Box Company, and his family business, and whereas Dave's passion for civic engagement was evident through decades of public service, including his roles on the Jackson County Board of Elections, the Carteret County Board of Equalization and Review, the Coastal Regional Solid Waste Authority, and his leadership within the Republican Party at the county level. And whereas he served with distinction as a Carteret County Commissioner, Town Commissioner of Cape Carteret, as Mayor of Cape Carteret for 8 years, exemplifying the high standards of integrity, commitment, and community-minded leadership. And whereas his service extended beyond official duties as a member of the Noon Rotary Club of Morehead City, along with other volunteer roles, and he consistently demonstrated compassion, thoughtfulness, and steadfast dedication to the betterment of those around him. Whereas David Fowler passed away on March 14, 2024, leaving behind a legacy of selfless service and devotion to his family, friends, and communities he so faithfully served. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Cape Carteret hereby dedicates the reflection area at 100 Taylor Notion Road, Cape Carteret, North Carolina, to the memory of David Michael Fowler in recognition of his lifetime of service, leadership, and unwavering commitment to his community. Be it further resolved that this reflection area shall stand as a living tribute to Dave's enduring legacy, a place of reflection, peace, and remembrance for all who visit, just as Dave's life was a source of guidance, generosity, and inspiration to all that knew him. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution shall be presented to Ms. Wanda Fowler as a token of the town of Cape Carteret's deep appreciation for the life, service, and legacy of her beloved husband, David Michael Fowler.
Nice work, Andy.
And I would like the motion to adopt the resolution.
Second. Charlie, second. All right, all in favor? Next up is consideration of resolution amending public program pass policy for 2026.
Yes, sir. In November, the last several years, we have, or October, we have adopted in anticipation of November for the pass sales going on sale either November 1st or December 1. And with the acquisition of Bayshore property, see before you that resolution tonight. So there's a couple of highlights that we need to make. So one is adding Bayshore to the manatee ramp in that resolution. The direction that y'all have kind of moved is limiting pass sales, so that's something you need to consider to whether it's to everyone or to only postcard residents. Passes go on sale November 1st, and then pass entry fees from $225 to $300 this coming year. All those things we need to discuss and consider tonight.
So Gina, I have a question. On the manatee boat ramp, how much money do we make from surrounding towns?
So surrounding towns, it's about half of our revenue, so it's $47,500 last year.
Okay. So when do we foresee the Carteret County boat ramp? I know they were waiting for a federal permit or something at one time.
Yeah,
Is
it
it-
started.
Have we got any updates on that federal permit they're waiting on?
No, the action that you see taking place now is the CCA or CFA, the Coastal Federation. They are using their right-of-way, and they've been given permission to start that, but that's not starting ours. We've made some headway, but
Do you have a projection time?
maybe by the end of the year we'll start.
Okay.
We've made it through some of the big hurdles, but we're waiting for a decision. We've been trying to get through the archives, the archiving, the Indian archiving, archaeology dig, and we've gone through 2, and we're waiting for the state to finally sign off, so.
Well, I feel like it would make sense to keep Manatee open to the surrounding towns and make Bayshore just for Cape Carteret for the time being, until that boat ramp is completed. Would make sense to me. I don't know about the rest of it.
One of the things to consider about that is we have to go multiple types of passes, because we did approve Bayshore as exclusive use for Cape Carteret residents. I'll just go ahead and say that, yeah, it's a chunk of change, but we know that we're gonna not have this ramp in 6 years. And so I think it's time that the town, and we've talked about this in the budget meetings in the spring. We've got to be able to begin to separate from this revenue stream and develop our own revenue stream that matches this.
So we're over 6 years, we're looking at about $300,000 losing.
Well,
31 is when our lease is up, right?
But I also see it as increasing in number 14 by potential of adding boat slips. We just potentially just approved. This is why I really like the way this agenda is, because number 14, we talk about adding about $50,000 of revenue per year. And then we're talking about beginning the transition in number 16. We're talking about transitioning away from about 50,000 of the manatee revenue that we're going to have to get away from eventually anyway. I don't think we want to pull the Band-Aid off too fast, but I think we do want to start to pull the Band-Aid off, and I think we want to 47 now, and then in a few years, come up with another, the other half of it and start to go for the rest of it. So I actually support this. This is something that we've talked about probably since I've been on this board. We've talked about having to do this, and I think this is a good idea. And so that's just where I stand.
Well, I feel like we are always talking about revenue generating projects, and I feel like this is a bad decision. That's my.
I'd like to make a comment, if I could squeeze one in here. I don't know if anybody's crunched the numbers, but I have, and I did it with Gene. The numbers. We're talking revenue here, potential revenue loss, is that correct? The total revenue loss is only gonna be $4,200 by excluding the outside people.
How much did you say we bring in from the outside?
So outside of this past year was $47,500.
The fact is, for the 8 years I've been on this board, we have battled. It's fought this battle of overcrowding the boat ramp facility. It's been consistent since I've been on this board. The citizens do not want a crowded boat ramp facility. That said, I shudder to think if a taxpayer from this town goes to the boat ramp and cannot put their boat in because there's somebody from Raleigh that wants to pay more money and pays more money and takes a space of somebody that pays taxes in our town. That and the $4,200 is, like Cameron said, be made up very easily with boat slips. If they
We
approve
don't
that.
have the votes legit.
Well, $4,200.
So I don't see why postponing it another year would hurt.
$4,200 is not gonna break the bank. Plus, it's gonna be easier for the citizens of Cape Carteret to put their boats in.
You're saying $4,200?
That's the figure.
$4,200.
Is that what
You're saying 47,000.
he's at $4,200 today.
So the way we figured that, if you sold 300 passes at $300, it's $90,000. Last year, we sold $94,200 worth of passes.
How many were for Cape Carteret residents?
For Cape Carteret residents, there were, you talking monetary value or number? Number, there were 196.
So, out of town were?
Out of town were 86.
And as Cameron said, it would be impossible to not allow to the police department to patrol both boat ramps to try to keep somebody from using bay shores from out of town. It'd be a logistical
It's only
nightmare.
about 2 weekends out of the year that you see congestion. The rest of the time, it seems like people have an easy time getting in and out.
No, I use it. It's not too weekends. Our goal is to get there before 10 a.m. If we get there after 10,
You're done.
it can sometimes get tough to find a parking spot.
I'm done. I'm done.
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve the resolution amending the boat ramp pass policy for 2026.
I'll
I
second.
guess I'll just, as written in this, it's 4 items, but are we breaking them out as 4, or are we just gonna do this written?
Can we delay it 1 year? Can we add that to your motion, to delay it 1 year, so we can get the boat slips in, see what happens, and then see what happens with the boat slip down there?
I don't think we can because passes go on sale next month.
And I don't see the need so that's the thing that we've talked about in February. It's the kicking the can down the road. I think I stand firm on we need to do it now. We need to do it now before these passes go on sale. I think we're gonna have the RFP for the boat ramp slips. I think this is good timing. So I I don't want to amend the motion. I'm gonna keep it as it stands.
I don't know what the rush is.
So to answer your question, it would either be, to adopt the resolution as written.
Okay. All right, I'll just make a motion to adopt the resolution as written, amending public vote and tax policy.
All right, did you second that, Steve? All right, any more discussion? Not all in favor? All opposed? Next up, town manager reports. Tell us all about it, Gene.
All right. So I want to remind everybody that early voting will begin October 16th and run through November 1st. So this year, it is different. So all of our voting, everybody in town will vote at the Western Park Community Center. Early voting can be done several places, but election day voting, Western Park Community Center. From October 16th through October 29th, the hours of early voting are from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. On Saturday, November 1st, you can vote from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Election day is November 4th. And again, Western Park Community Center from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Really excited about the Fall Festival this year. The town staff and others have put a lot of work into this. So we'll have the trackless train again this year, running from Trunk or Treat over to the main festival grounds. BMX bike show, which I hear is a big hit. Including four pro athletes, including the X Games medalist. Performance times are at 12, 2, and 4, and they have allowed time to sign autographs and a meet and greet after that. We'll have a pet injury from Lazy Day Farm, animal encounter from OBS Wildlife Shelter, Fairy Hair from Salon 101, some gin mining from Crystal Coast Mining, balloon art, face painting, games, and a lot more. We've got a total of 90 vendors and food trucks this year. It will be a full house. At 11 o'clock, we will do a ribbon cutting for the trail at the gym, and then we'll proceed to the reflection area for a ribbon cutting dedication immediately after that. So golf carts will be available once the ride is on.
If you need a driver, Gene, I'll be more than happy to drive.
Thank you. Thank you. Trick or Trot Fun Run that day starts at 8 a.m. at White Oak Elementary. I think we have 32 runners as of this afternoon signed up for that.
26.
Trail reflection ribbon cutting, as I mentioned, at 11, and then the Fall Festival will run right here at Town Hall from 11 to 5. We have Salty Bones playing from 11 to 12:30. The Will and Tony show from 1 to 2:30. And then Southern Hellcats from 3 to 5. Mayor Baker and I will be in Greenville next week, filming a very quick blurb on this on WITM. So y'all watch TV and check us out. Halloween, wish everyone a happy Halloween. This is coming up here before our next meeting. That's October 31st. Trick or treating hours here in town are from 5:30 to 8:30. Wish everyone a safe and happy Halloween. Veterans Day Parade is before our next meeting. That's Saturday, November 8th at 11 a.m. Downtown Morehead City. The Town Hall will be closed on Tuesday, November 11th in observance of Veterans Day. Wanted just a pretty neat item. All the flooding and everything else that occurred countywide in North Carolina. I was in town and Brian was around. We received, the Town Hall and More Public Works received no complaints over flooding or drainage over the weekend. That was a lot of rain, so that's just a testament to the hard work y'all put in over the years, improving those facilities. Last, we have hired a finance director. Mr. Jeff Salivi will be joining us on October 20th. Mr. Salivi has a wealth of experience both in private and public sector. He served as finance director for the town of Hope Mills formerly. He holds a bachelor's in accounting from North Carolina and is a North Carolina licensed CPA. That's all I have, Mayor.
All right. Thank you, Gene. Any questions for Gene? All right, if not, then we'll do the commissioner reports. We'll start with you, Cameron, and work our way over.
Commissioner Ritchie, did you say that you'd be available to drive? Yes. Okay, I will not be available this year.
Why?
My partner, she's no longer with us, so I don't know who else was available, but I will not be able to do it.
I'm driving.
Oh, you were driving too, okay. Good, so sorry about that, little family thing going on. So, happy trick or treating, happy Halloween, whatever. And I wanted to say thank you to the planning board, Mrs. Olds. That was a good brief that you did, and I really appreciate you guys doing the runoff. In fact, I think you've talked about runoff prevention for quite a while. So I'm actually glad to see that, because I have seen that through some of the construction sites around town. And I'm glad we got a little more, I think you said, teeth to it. So I think that's good. So hopefully that works out for us. That's all I have. Courtney?
All right, I just want to say I'm really glad to see something finally happening with the old Wells Fargo, and thanks Paxton and Planning Board for all your hard work. Y'all did a lot of hard work behind the scenes that we don't know about. This property has been a tough one, and there's a lot of back and forth over it in the past years, trying to keep the big shop from coming in. The town, we did invest some money and effort into getting ready for something positive, and this is exactly that, something positive. It was the work from the Board of Commissioners, the Board of Adjusters, the Planning Board, and the staff. So it was a group effort there, so I think it's a good fit for our town. And I also want to thank everyone for the work that's gone into tonight's meeting. So we covered a lot from the transportation plan to the boat ramp discussion, and I appreciate the efforts from the staff. So also, I toot my own horn a little bit. I just wanted to make a little announcement. At the regular meeting on September 15th, the Carteret County Board of Commissioners appointed me to be on the Carteret County Beach Commission, and I will serve as a at-large member until January 31st, 2028. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Thank you. Appreciate that.
John?
I'm on the county commissioner. Anyway, first I'd like to say, Ryan, great job. This rain we had, all the hard work you put in, all the extra hours, thank you. To the planning board, thank you for the wonderful job. Finally, we'll have some teeth in our stormwater control. To the office and police department, thank you for all the hard work that you do. And more importantly, thank you to all the citizens that come out to these meetings and tell us what your problems are. We're here to listen, we're here to try to help you. That's all I got.
Charlie? I don't have anything. Steve?
Yeah, I want to thank the planning board also. I think it's one of the most thorough meetings you folks had. It's great to see that for change. I hope everybody had a great Columbus Day today. So with that, I'm done too. Thank you.
All right, well, I echo everything everybody said here. How you doing on brush, Brian?
Good. We're essentially going to be finished up tomorrow.
Awesome, doing a great job on that, man. I tell you what, there seems to be a lot out there this go around.
There was a little higher volume than normal. Once I get down to the numbers, I usually do a report. I'm anxious to see what it is compared to, last two we did, so.
Cool, thanks guys, doing a great job. Town Hall, thank you guys, doing a great job. And thank you, Ms. Holt, for letting us use your lot over here for the Fall Festival. We appreciate that, and John as well. It makes it nice when we can, branch out a little bit. And other than that, we have been checking on the zip code, so we're waiting to hear back from the county about that. Hopefully we can get that squared away. We'd be more than happy to offer them a post office here. That'll help anything get going. It just blows my mind we have a zip code in another county. I just unheard of. I don't know why we didn't go with Emerald. They got a perfectly good post office right over there, and it's in our county. I didn't make those decisions. But with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
John beat you. All right, you second it, though.
I'll do it.
All right, all in favor? Thank you. And thank you guys for being here, Sure Town. Love to see you here.